Hey folks, in today's episode, we visit the surprisingly amazing Harriman State Park in Island Park, Idaho.
Make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure.
8 summers. That's all we have left with our oldest until he graduates from high school. Our family goal to get to all 50 states before then is a monumental challenge that will be hard to overcome. We wanted to do something in Idaho. We knew we weren't going to stay there overnight, but we were going to drive through Idaho on our way to Glacier. Also, we wanted to avoid the craziness of Yellowstone on a 4th of July weekend. We didn't know anything about Harriman State Park, except it was less than an hour from our campground, and it was on the way to a Walmart in Rexburg. We wanted to shop at a Walmart one last time before heading into the more remote parts of northwestern Montana. Also, grabbing an Idaho geocache seemed like a good idea, checking off a state on another type of map we're tracking. When we got there, we headed to the Visitors Center for a detailed map and to solidify our plans for a good bike ride. Much to our surprise, we discovered the Idaho State Park system has a junior ranger program that rivals the National Park Service. It was hot. We weren't sure we had enough water, and we had packed our handy snack bag that helped us fill in the gaps between the inconsistent and random meals that we often had during this trip. Thanks to the AllTrails app, we knew there was bike riding here, which was great. We'd dragged these bikes over 2,000 miles and hadn't really ridden them yet. When the Harrimans owned the property, it was called the Railroad Ranch, obviously a nod to the Union Pacific. The bike trail goes right through the buildings that make up the ranch, and we decided to keep riding on for a bit. We were trying to take the Silver Lake Trail. There was supposed to be an excellent chance to see wildlife on that trail. After we went through the railroad ranch, we took a wrong turn and headed down a dirt road that followed the Henry Fork River. The land that is now Harriman State Park at one time belonged to the well-known Guggenheim family and the not-so-well-known Harriman family. E.H. Harriman was on the board of directors for the Union Pacific Railroad. The family enjoyed spending summers out west at their ranch near Henry's Fork River.
Okay, we're in Idaho. And you're looking at giant potato fields. Actually not. This is the bike trail at Harriman State Park. And we're on a 3-mile loop. There's a 5-mile loop also. But they have spotted a bear in that area. Even though I have my bear spray, I didn't think it'd be a good idea to go down there. Plus, it's about lunchtime and we're not really sure where we might eat lunch, so we don't want to be out here all afternoon. Anyhow, so this is a state park in Idaho. There was a fee to enter, which was interesting. It was $7 for us to come in today. This is an envelope, honor system kind of thing.
We figured we would be riding bikes for about 4 miles or so. We could totally do that, especially after doing all 12 miles at M.K. Goddard State Park in Pennsylvania. One of Katie's actual favorite things to do is a family bike ride. Now, we've got to explain what this looks like for the DaubSquad. Pedal 150 yards, spot interesting things just off the path, a game trail, water feature, mud puddle. Ask closest parent if we can stop and adventure. Spend undetermined amount of time adventuring. After much cajoling by the parents, return to the bikes and ride. Repeat.
Hey, don't get close to that river. It looks kind of rocky.
Dad, you want to try to skip the stone?
Sure.
When we got to the bridge, we realized our mistake. We weren't going to see the Silver Lake sights.
What's wrong here?
We're on the wrong trail.
Show me again.
We were supposed to be here. We are right here now.
But there's a cool bridge over here.
Okay. Well, we'll ride to the bridge and then go back. Have we lost them into this very raging river?
I hope not. Is it a river?
Yes, Henry River.
Henry River.
Henry's Fork River.
Oh.
We're always amazed at the trouble we have reading trail maps. We're pretty good on the road, and we really haven't gotten lost yet. We always seem to see cool things, though. we decided to go back to the ranch and take the tour. I wasn't sure the boys would want to look at buildings from the early to mid-1900s. Turns out they loved it. On our way back, we were delighted to see a lot of pelicans landing in the Henry Fork. On our hour bike ride, we passed nobody except some fly fishermen in the river. What a stark contrast to the busy trails at Yellowstone. I realize I have a tiny little vacation home that I drive around with, but what if my summer home was an entire town, or at least a small village? Kitchens and dining halls, servants and guest quarters, stables, a community building, and an amazing main residence. By the way, you can rent some of these buildings for around $200 a night. Looking at the map of this park, it makes me think of the many state parks that we have in Pennsylvania, and how some of them have trails and features we've never explored. We barely scratched the surface of this Idaho State Park. The summer houses and cottages here at the Railroad Ranch are likely very different than the homes the wealthy Easterners enjoyed during the rest of the year. Nevertheless, they weren't shacks. These homes were well appointed, and as the 1900s progressed, were updated with electricity and modern appliances. We also love this park because it was not Yellowstone. Don't misunderstand. Yellowstone, the oldest and the best, has that title for a reason. But Harriman State Park, less than an hour away from West Yellowstone, was just off the beaten path enough to make it charming, and it was a lot less busy. Visiting Harriman made us realize that we have been overlooking some treasures in our backyard, namely state parks in Ohio and Pennsylvania. Be on the lookout for some visits to Ohio State Parks in the near future. Thanks for watching. In the next episode, we head to the crown of the continent, Glacier National Park. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and comment below.